Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Coppin with Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Post Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
There it was, Toy. Last minute switch. There's an old rap song. He goes, switch change.
Never heard it. I want you to rap it for me.
I don't even remember what it was. Well, one is switch. I ain't got no switch, and change. Y'all got the change. I ain't got much jingle in my pocket right now. Welcome in. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Happy Monday. Fun.
Is it?
Fun. It's happy Monday, yeah. It takes a while on a Monday to like get rolling. You ever feel
We
that?
should do Mondays in the afternoon.
Yeah, like Monday well, yeah, it's got to be, what's a good time? 4 o'clock? It's an hour before you leave.
There you go.
So just call it a day and just leave right then.
It'd be an early Monday.
All right. All right. Well, that's it. We're going to sign off today, and we'll be back later today at 4 p.m. For the Good Afternoon
Hopefully
Huntsville.
in a better mood or more woke anyways.
Good Afternoon Huntsville is our new show that's coming up. That may be one down the road, Toy. Maybe
Could
one.
be.
So how have you been? Good to see you. It's
I'm good.
I know you guys have been busy, and President's Day, y'all were closed down a couple of weeks ago, or last week y'all were closed down. But a lot going on, and thankfully I know I won't get political, but I know there's been a lot of trimming in the government, but I'm thankful that's not affecting you guys or employees at the credit union.
Waiting on the rates to go down as everybody else is.
Yeah.
So.
How does all that? I've always wondered, it's got to take somebody that understands that stuff really well to adjust those rates. I mean, when you say the Fed, it's a group of people. It's not like one guy with a mallet that's like, raise the rates, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It is a group.
So it's a consortium of people that know a lot more than I do.
Come in and do analytics based on, I guess, the economy and buying and selling, and
it's just you think about that.
They want to slow things down. They raise it. They want to pick things up. They lower it, and
it's like they got their foot on the gas pedal, on the throttle. I get
and we're at their mercy.
Yeah, but I think about this on a lot of things. That's all a bureaucracy, and that's something that our people that we hopefully trust are in control of that. And but I say that because it's easy for me as just some guy in the back, a bystander, right? to sit here and think, oh, well, that should be easy to do. It's not. Like even what you guys do in running a credit union, that stuff, nothing is easy in these type of jobs. There is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes.
Well, I think the biggest thing for me personally is that the decisions that you make based on somebody else's assumptions, if you will.
Yeah.
And you pretty much you don't know if it's the right decision or not until it may be too late.
And that, and you're right. And that brings up a good point, because I think, let me take it on an inspirational tone. Now, you know how the show is. I'm going to flip it. We're going to make it. Somehow we're going to turn Fed rates into inspiration this morning. I think that I think it's safe to say that most people have a good heart. They want to do the right thing. And in some jobs, it's really difficult because you're put into tough situations having to make tough decisions. Even in your role, I mean, I make tough decisions in my role. We all at some point have to make tough decisions. And I know you're a good person. I would like to believe I'm a good person. And we try, both of us, you and I and many others that we know that we're friends with, try to do things by the kindness of our heart, what we feel is right. But that decision may affect somebody else in a negative way, or maybe they just don't understand the decision that's being made. And you've got to learn to work through that. Someone that I knew always said we have to address those tough conversations, and it's not easy. And I'll take it a step further. We got to address tough decisions. And so maybe today you're stressing out. You woke up this morning because there's something big on the horizon that you've got to tackle, or a decision that you've got to make that you have just been worried sick about. And I want to encourage you this morning to go with your heart and to make that decision and to do it. And I guarantee on the backside, after you look back at it, it's not going to be as bad as all the anxiety was leading you up to believe.
Don't you hate that, though?
Mm-hmm.
Like, whenever you are dreading a situation, all the hype has you just anxious and, all up in the feels and everything else. And then whenever it's over with, you're like, golly, why did I stress over that so much?
I go back to, we're all a product of our environment, but we can control the thermostat a little bit. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
We were talking about that earlier. Mama, I love you. Pat, I love y'all. But, man, my house has been hot this weekend. And if Mama's cold, we're going to turn the thermostat. If my cousin Pat's cold, we're going to turn the thermostat.
I keep a heater on all the time.
I was sitting there saying 70 degrees, 69, 70 degrees. That's too hot for me. You were saying, what's your ideal temperature?
75.
75. I couldn't even imagine,
I have a
man.
heating blanket I sit in my recliner with, and then I have a heater under my desk at work. When I'm by myself in my car, I'll turn my heater on in my car, even have my seat heater on.
No.
Love heat.
If it's this past, I've loved the weather this week. And then that other week when it was, well, let me backtrack. I love the weather. If it's going to be a cold rain, I would much rather it get down below freezing, because it's a waste of all that it's a waste. We could have had a winter wonderland, but instead we got this soggy wetland, cold wetland instead of a winter wonderland.
Rob, there's nothing good about cold rain. Nothing.
No, that's why it needs to turn into snow and ice.
We're going to be living like Elsa.
Yeah, so that's it.
Slipping and sliding all the way into work.
But no, I want to go back to that. We were talking about maybe you got that tough decision to make this week. I go back to when we were living, up in Fargo, and when I came to terms that it was time for us to come back, and it was a very tough decision, because, in all of our roles, people have invested in us. In your role, they've invested. In my role, people have utilized resources to help you to get where you're at.
Absolutely.
Whether it's time or money, or there's a lot that goes in behind the scenes. And going up to Fargo was a big deal. There was folks that helped us move there. There was people who made decisions to allow us the privilege to be there and to be in that role broadcasting. And I just remember thinking, this isn't for me anymore. And it wasn't anything to do with anybody. It was so weird.
Personal decision.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a situation where everything is so ideal and there's no conflict? Everything seems like it's supposed to be what it is, but then there's something that's just this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. Have you ever been in a situation like that?
I don't think to the extreme that you were. I mean, you uprooted your entire life and moved away, and maybe you were, I don't know. Maybe the aftertaste just wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I don't think I've experienced that. I'm pretty boring, Rob.
No, I know that if I know I'm throwing it at you, but if you really sit down, I guarantee you there's even, and it may not be some extreme thing, but there's been times, I think all of us, there's been times where it feels like everything, it's like, why don't I feel good about this when everything is okay? There's nothing bad about what I'm doing. You know, and for me that was the case, and we got along with the school great, got along with the radio station great, the people that I worked with, everything was ideal. It was that ultimate career path that I'd always longed for, but there was still something that was saying, hey, you need to get back to family, you need to get back home. And what worried me the most when I talked about all the people that poured in resources, there was a guy that I'd always wanted to get to know, a top dog with media broadcasting in the college radio sports landscape. He's the vice president of Learfield. Learfield owns the media rights to major colleges and universities across the United States. All your Power 5 schools, Texas A&M, UT, Baylor, all of those are Learfield media rights schools. And somebody had told me years ago, you need to get to know this guy if you ever want to get in those ranks. Well, I had the privilege, got to know this guy. And through that interviewing process, because when you apply to one of these Learfield schools, you're not applying right away to the athletic department or the media department of that school. You have to get through the VP of Learfield first. He has to listen to you and say, okay, this guy is a candidate. I'm going to suggest that he be one of the 10 or one of the 5 that this university hires. So he presents the candidates to the university. So that was a major hurdle right there, just getting to know him. And I'll never forget, I talked to my wife, Toy, and I was like, Bridget, I'm about to make this decision. She goes, well, go with your heart. Do what you think's the right. I said, I know what the right decision is. We need to go back. And I was so stressed out about calling. I thought he was going to be so upset. And literally I was sick for a week. I kept putting it off. And I was so sick, like literally sick to my stomach. It was on my mind. I was dreaming about it. And I was dreading making that call. And then I made the call. He asked how I was doing. I said, man, everything's good. And then we got, you always have the little pleasantries at the beginning. Oh, yeah, how are the kids? Yeah, great, man. How are you enjoying being up here? Oh, great. Thanks for asking that question. Oh, it's great, but I'm about to throw something at you. And then I spoke with them, and I said, look, so-and-so. I said, this just doesn't, it's no disrespect to anyone here. It's just not a good fit for us. We need to be, I said, my mother's getting older. My dad's not in good health. And I go back and look at it, I made the right decision because, of course, lost my dad last year, so I got to see him and talk to him a little bit. If I would have been up there, that probably wouldn't have happened. So I know that I made the right decision. But I remember going through all this, and he told me, he's like, take a deep breath. Everything's cool. And at that moment, like all the weight went off my shoulders. And he goes, we value family over everything here at Learfield. That's our number one thing. We value the importance of family. And he goes, I can offer you a chance to stay. But he said, but I know that financially it's not going to be what you need to stay. Because there were certain components that for me to stay that we were going to kind of move around to maybe make things. But that wasn't the reason. The reason was we missed our family. We wanted to be back. And he told me, he goes, and I know we could do this and do this. And he goes, but I know that that's not why you want to go back. You want to go back because you're family. And he said, don't worry about it. He goes, we're still friends. Everything's cool. And he said, and if an opportunity ever opens up down in the Houston area where you're closer to family, you'll be one of my first calls. And then that was it. So all this sick, like literally almost,
well, you have that
my
personality
stomach.
too, where you don't want to let people down.
Yeah.
And I think that that's probably the biggest burden with something like that. You knew the opportunity that you were given was probably, a rare opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't, have those things handed to them. And I'm not saying that you didn't work to get where you were at, but you had people that stuck their neck out for you, and you didn't want to let those people down. That's easy to do, and especially with your type of personality. You're a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. So.
And I've learned, here's something that I've learned. It's okay to say no. And it's taken me a long time. This is all some deep conversations this morning here on
This
Good
is
Morning
Therapy
Huntsville.
101 with Robin Toy.
I like that. It's a new show. It's going to start on Mondays, 4 p.m. in place of this show.
Absolutely. It's 4 o'clock somewhere.
That's right.
Instead of 5.
Yeah, it's always. But that's kind of that's the thing, though. You know, think about, really prioritize what matters most in your life. And I think, obviously, faith is a big part of my life, and I'm always going to say put the good Lord first. But secondly, prioritize what's important in your life. And if you hold on to those things, then there's a good chance that you're going to make the right decisions along the journey. And you'll regret. Sometimes you may regret. I don't like to regret. Yesterday when I was speaking in front of a group, someone said, "Is there anything that you regret?" I said, I don't really. Are there things that I miss or that I wish I maybe would have done differently? Sure. But regret? I don't know if I really regret anything. Everything that we've done in life leads us to where we're at now. And,
That's exactly right.
and
I
even,
believe that.
even the bonehead decisions that we've made, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I've always said the difference in some people, the reason that they're on this side of the wall and not over there, is they never got caught. You know, there's some bonehead decisions that I've made in my. Now I'm not saying I've did anything like that.
You don't need to be over on the other side of the
No,
walls.
I do not need to be over there. But there was bonehead, and I've been open and transparent about this. There was bonehead decisions that I made in my 20s. You know, staying up late and going to the local biker bar back in the day, you know, and getting in the car and driving. And those are just ignorant things.
Did you have your leathers on?
Didn't have my leathers on, no. I'm starting to think about, no, didn't have any of that on. Didn't have my jacket on, you know. But I made dumb decisions of drinking and getting in a car and driving because in my mind I thought I'm only live a mile away. Well, guess what? There's people within that mile. And by the grace of God, nothing ever happened. But that's what I'm getting at is you got to be careful and you got to go with what's right. Those weren't right. But those decisions have all led, even that somehow has played a role in leading to here, to this moment.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, great show. We are here. Big thank you, as always, to our friends, Toy, Williamson, Walker County Federal Credit Union. They are your full-service credit union serving this community for a very long time, taking care of all of your needs. They take care of my needs, my family needs. That joint account that Bridget and I set up still has the original funding that I put in it because we haven't pulled the trigger yet on she or I both putting our money into it. We still have our separate accounts. But if you need a joint account, hey, they're going to set you up with one. We have
You
one.
don't have a joint account and want an account. We can hook you up with that too.
They'll hook you up with that. They'll take care of your personal loans. They'll take care of your business loans. Friends, pretty much anything that you have a financial need for, it's our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union. They've been so good to us, to me, to our family, and they do things the right way. I mean, you can see it when Toy's on the show, when Karen's in here. You know, you guys are here. Y'all are able to be involved in the community. I think that's important, too. Okay. Anything that's going on in Huntsville, almost anything, I see y'all's logo on it.
We dabble in everything.
You just dab, little here and little there. You know what I used to say in Georgetown? This goes back to being a people pleaser. I knew a lot of people in the banking. And when you're in the chamber, banks are really involved in the local chamber. You know, every bank that you can think of, usually in the community, is involved in the local chamber. Well, in Georgetown, like every one of them was super involved. And I knew all these people, so I didn't want to let any of them down. So I had a little account here and a little account here. And then one day, the guy that used to run my IT store, he's like, "Dude, what are you doing, man?" I said, "What?" He goes, "You're like going and running deposits at 4 different banks. Just pick one and call it a day." And I said, "Well, I don't want to upset this guy and this lady because I know them all." So it was funny how you said that. Eventually we did. We consolidated into one bank that really took care of our needs. In Huntsville, we have one bank that takes care of our needs. Even though I know a lot of other people in the banking industry, we chose to go with you guys not because y'all are sitting here and taking care of this, sponsoring and being our foundation sponsor. We had our car loan long before the idea for the show was even out there. And so go by and see Walker County Federal Credit Union. They're investing in this community, and it's so important to invest back in those that invest in us.
That's right.
Well, hey, we're going to take a brief break. I have a guest here today. It's a young lady that walked in here into our studio that's visiting from Central Texas. I'm going to have her on too with us, and we're gonna get to know somebody today. It's what is it when you have your family? Is that called nepotism?
Nepotism.
Yeah, it's Nepotism Monday here on the. No, I'm just kidding. But I want to introduce somebody here in a little bit. We're going to continue talking about great things. Also, Toy and I will be talking about some events coming up at the chamber. One very important as well. For now, though, we'll step aside. We'll take a brief break. Remember, every single Monday, our non-mimosa Monday, that's what Karen and I call it, non-mimosa Mondays are brought to you by our friends at, well, that didn't sound, it's like I don't want y'all to sponsor the mimosas. Mondays brought to you by Walker County Federal Credit Union. Again, your full-service community credit union located on Normal Park. We'll take a brief break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. This is your show. It is Good Morning Huntsville. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
Imagine a professional office space that elevates your business image without the corporate price tag. Huntsville Executive Office Suites are coming soon to Lake Road. Enjoy high-speed internet, a fully equipped kitchen, and 24/7 secure access. Take advantage of our live answering service, advertising on our outdoor video sign, and a convenient location just a quarter mile from SHSU. Lease terms start at 6 months. Call Raven Property Management at 936-225-4378. Huntsville Executive Office Suites. Grow your business without outgrowing your budget.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
This is KHSP-LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Deneen with Guardian Defense, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today. Braylon, say this is Spirit Radio.
This is Spirit Radio.
rolling here on another episode of Good Morning Huntsville. You're waking up today, a little fog. I got a weird Google alert that says heavy fog has been reported on your drive. Is it still there? Never received that one before, but there was. Low visibility, 44 degrees today. How about 67? Beautiful day, 67 and sunny. A wonderful Toy Williamson approved 46 degrees tonight.
No, it's not.
And clear, sunshine. What about tomorrow, 72 and sunny?
That's my jam.
Okay, perfect. Now here's your ultimate jam though, Toy. Wednesday, 75. There's your temperature.
Perfect.
75 and sunny.
I will not put my heater away though.
I had a young lady that used to work for me when I had my IT business, and it would be 90 degrees outside, and she'd need a heater. I had to go to Home Depot and buy heaters specifically for her.
Well, I have a heater in my office that I keep in my office, but I don't think I can live without
Toy,
it.
if it's this way now, we're going to fast forward 50 years when you're 60. No, that'd be too young. Let's see.
I'm probably going to be cold in 50 years
in 50 years, when you're 70, see? When you're 70 in 50 years, it's going to be really bad because you're going to want it to be 85. If you're this way now at 20, then...
Thanks for making a lady feel good.
Well, speaking of ladies, lady, my sister's on the show, lady. Hi. My sister made it on the show today. She drove all the way from Georgetown here this morning. She left at like 4 in the morning to get here on time.
I did not.
I had to pay her a lot of money to be here. I took some money out of my Walker County Federal account and passed it over to my sister this morning. So
how's that Walker County Federal account money taste or feel? Or
It's a good taste. Rebecca, what's up? My sister joining us this morning. Rebecca, what's going on?
Oh, not much.
Hey, take this right here. I haven't given her the you got to pull this in a little bit. There you go.
Like that?
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Awesome. All right, I get to embarrass my sister here on the show this morning. What's going on, sis?
Oh, not much. I just came to see you and watch you at church yesterday and hang out with you.
My sister said, "Oh, is Toy or Karen going to be on tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, I'd like to come hang out for a little bit." And it worked out. Roxanne Moss was supposed to be here from the American Legion, and she is sick today. The flu is going around really bad right now. Have y'all had the flu back at home in Georgetown area?
No, but Brianna had it for like a week.
Okay, wait, when? Because
a while back.
Okay, good, because ain't nobody got time for that this morning. Toy and I have been talking. We don't want nobody to get sick. So, well, Rebecca, I wanted to ask you this morning because you have a pretty cool job, and I wanted you to talk about that because we've had similarities here with, in a way, I know that it's not the Ag Extension Office what you do, but we had a gentleman on here a while back that was part of the Ag Extension Office for Walker County. Let us know a little bit about what you do. It's a pretty cool position with the FSA, which is a Farm Service Agency.
Yes, so the Farm Service Agency is a branch of the Department of Agriculture, and I work for the county office in Georgetown, so it's the Williamson County office, and I'm a program analyst. That's my title. And what we do...
Sounds fancy. I'm a broadcast analyst connoisseur.
And what we do is we help farmers, like, we do disaster programs. So, like, when there's a drought and you're short on grazing acres and you need a little help, or if lightning strikes your livestock and they die, or like in 2021 when we had that Snowmageddon.
Yeah, that was fun. Toy loved that. It was our favorite time of the year, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the day I walked in with busted water pipes in the credit union.
Oh, no.
Flooded.
But yeah, that's what we do. We help. And then we also, if we have new producers coming in and they say, hey, I want a farm number, I want to set up a farm, and then we provide them with a farm number, draw out their map of their farm, and then producers also report their acres to us. So all the crops they plant, their pasture, their hay, they report all that to us.
So it's unique because I'm assuming there's FSAs. Is it in every county or region? How does it because I'm trying to relate it to here. So what would it be like here if we had something like that?
So You do have an office here, but I think it's
probably
three counties that are combined.
It's probably like out of Bryan College Station, I would assume, probably, right? Like Brazos County or?
No, it's Walker.
Well,
it's
that's
Walker
us.
County, and then there's a couple of more counties with it. I can't remember off the top of my head, sorry.
Well, we're going to let your
But,
boss know, don't worry. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, not every county has an office. There's some counties that are combined, and they share duties for both counties.
So how does it change from one region to another? Because I'm assuming, different topography, different types of, or I sound like a mark 'cause I don't know what, but different types of earth, like dirt. Does that make sense? So
soil.
Yeah. So see, she would know the right answer. My sister, by the way, gets mad if you say dirt road. She's like, that's not a dirt road.
What is it?
It's gravel.
It's gravel. Yeah. Yeah.
Even if it's dirt?
It's not dirt, it's soil.
Yeah. Don't see.
Okay.
Don't get into this argument with my sister. So we've went down this rabbit hole before, but so what I'm getting at is there's different areas. So in Central Texas, the soil may be different, here in East Texas. It is really because in Central Texas, Toy, one thing I love about here, man, if you got to dig a hole, you can dig a hole. Back where we're from, you can't dig a hole. You go down 2 inches and you hit limestone. Mm-hmm. And when I put a fence in my yard, I literally, when I was in my old house, I had done so much work around the yard that I finally bought a jackhammer because I had rented them so many times trying to break up rock in the backyard. So how does that, with your job, Rebecca, kind of change if you're in one area compared to another? Like, what are some of the different, I guess what I'm trying to say, or what are some of the different, I guess, job descriptions that you would have within the FSA if it was in Central Texas versus maybe here in Walker County?
You mean as of what we do in our
Yeah.
offices? So like most every office we deal with crops. So like your corn, wheat, oats. A lot of guys do either oats and wheat for grain or grazing. They'll overseed into their pasture sometimes. We deal with hay grazer, which is sorghum. They call it hay grazer. Most guys usually bale that or
That's
grow
what
it for grain.
people yell that to me because I'm just kind of in zombie land. They're like, "Hey, grazer, what are you doing, boy?" Get it, Toy? You're like a grazer. You just go, oh. Anyways, go ahead, sis.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm sleeping.
And then mostly cattle. We deal mostly with cattle. Few guys I work with, depending on where you're at, we'll have sheep and goats. And then some of the crops vary, like obviously in Williamson County, we're not going to have rice, but maybe if you go down to the coast, you're going to have
See, that's what I was
rice.
getting at. Like, what are the different crops? Because, Toy, do you know what we grow around here? I don't know what I know we grow
Put me on the spot. Pine trees.
We grow trees. Does the FSA deal with like trees, like pine trees?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
here we go.
So, like if you have timberland, you can report your timberland as a commodity.
So that's us then. We're
so
doing
you might
that
have
here.
that here in your
I should
county.
take them and put them somewhere else.
You don't like the trees? Toy?
I'm tired of raking.
Oh, the needles.
Actually, I shouldn't even say that I rake. My husband's the one that does the raking, but it makes a mess in the yard.
I was talking to my cousin yesterday, and we were on our way. We had went somewhere before. No, it was on our way to church. She went with me to church yesterday morning, and I was telling her, Toy, about how much I love living here. The scenery, the trees. And her first, well, I don't like these trees. And I was like, how do you not like these trees? She goes, well, I have cousins down in Louisiana, and man, those needles, all that just covers everything. I said, I would rather the needles be covering the ground than pollen. We don't have pollen issues here because we don't have the cedar trees. Man, back at home where we grew up, you shake those trees, and it's like a cloud of instant runny nose and hay fever for a year when you shake those trees. We don't deal with that here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's some in we do have some pollen, but not probably to that extreme.
Yeah, that cedar stuff is horrible.
Pine trees are a pain in the hind end.
Well, Rebecca, what is, maybe there's someone, a young person. We have a lot of folks that watch this show, and I wanted to bring you on as a little bit of inspiration too, because agriculture is still a very vital part of many communities. I hate to say this, in a town we grew up in, and you know this, that is starting to be less and less. The county, there's still a lot of agriculture, but that specific town, it seems like there's so much development that it's less and less. We're still blessed here in Walker County because agriculture is a huge part of this county. Especially with the university, Sam Houston State University now is obviously we have A&M, that's what they're known for. Well, Sam Houston's starting to get into the game now with their agriculture. Maybe a young person's watching, or a parent or a grandparent saying, I want my child to get into ag. What are some pieces of advice maybe you have for that person this morning? Some advice?
Mm-hmm. I would say, well, if you want to get into ag, you might want to look, there's a lot of different areas. It just depends on what you're interested in. I mean, you could even go into banking, be like an ag banker.
Oh, an ag lender.
Yeah,
do y'all do that? Ag lending?
We don't do stuff specific to agriculture, but there are programs for that.
What is that? Like if somebody, man, I need to buy about 10 cows. Can y'all give me some money to buy the cows?
Well, I don't.
Do they come in like that when they ask? I'm just asking.
I don't know. I'm hoping they do now.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to walk in because they heard this show and walk in, and my staff is going to be like, what's wrong with these people?
Then I get about 10 cows. I got to get me some cows.
Need a trailer to go with them cows.
Anyway, sorry, Rebecca.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say, there's a lot of different opportunities in agriculture, so it depends on what you're interested in. If you're more interested in crops, you might want to focus in college or going towards something that's more crop related. Maybe you want to do crop insurance or something of that nature. Or for like me, I have always been passionate about beef cattle. I love beef cattle. That was my thing.
I like eating them.
Because of our great Uncle Robert.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He used to pick me up like every Saturday or Sunday, and I would spend time with him and his Charlie and Limousine cattle. So I started out wanting to be a veterinarian, but didn't quite have the upper level math, chemistry skills for it. So I did the next best thing and got my degree in agriculture, animal science. And then, of course, I worked in extension for a short while, but I just wanted to be able to do something in agriculture where I could help people. And so working at the Farm Service Agency gives me that opportunity.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I'm glad you shared all that, Rebecca, because it's so neat. We get wrapped up in our own little zones. I'm in the broadcasting / I guess ministry business. Somehow all that kind of correlates together. Toy, you're in the banking industry. Rebecca, you're in the ag type industry. And you think about it, we're on our own little zones, and we don't realize, like for me, Toy, I don't realize I know a little bit based on what you told me, but I have no comprehension of the things that you have to deal with on a daily basis. Just like you, Rebecca, I have no comprehension on the things that you deal with every single day related to ag. And there's so many different avenues within these industries. You think about all the different things. I would have never thought that in ag, somebody's going to call and ask you about plants. Things that we don't think about that, to be honest, I'm like, I don't care about that plant. But to a farmer, that's everything, because that plant could tell you why their crops are dying or why their crops are thriving, right? Mm-hmm. Depending on the soil and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of science that I have no clue about, but we're glad to have people like Rebecca who can help us out with those kind of things. So, well, sis, thank you for hanging out with us, for coming into town. Anything else that you wanted to touch base on?
I was going to say, you always pick on me for saying soil instead of dirt.
Okay, hold on. Let me mute your microphone. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I thought you were about to pick on me.
No. The reason... So part of my background when I went to college is I did study some soils, and I really enjoyed soil science as well. The reason you say soil, because soil has organic material in it, microorganisms, things. The soil, it's living. That's why you call it soil. Whereas dirt is void of anything. There's nothing living in it. There's no organic matter. It's void of everything.
There you go. So if you're watching, see, I'm a big space guy. I like the Mars rovers right now. On Mars is dirt. They ain't got no soil on Mars, Toy. It's dirt. It's straight up dirt.
We don't know that for sure yet, though.
Yeah, we're still trying to learn. Well, all right, there's my sister. She wanted to hop on today, and I'm so glad she did, because I love my family very much. And sis, appreciate you. By the way, if you see her, she comments every morning, "Good morning, Huntsville." She feels like part of our family, because she's always watching while she's there working. So
I try really hard to support my baby brother.
Awesome. There you go.
Oh, the baby.
There's nicknames that we call each other, but we're not going to say those over the air.
Okay. I don't want to be in the middle of that anyway.
Yeah,
literally in the middle.
There's one particular nickname you've been calling me since I turned 40. So
yeah. starts with old and ends with something funny. So, anyways, it's our joke. So, well, hey, there she is, my sister Rebecca Schaefer, joining us this morning. Love you, sis. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
It's not every day I can say I love you to our guest. Love you, sis.
Love you too.
Good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, well, we're going to take a brief break. We'll be back in a moment, and more going on in our community as we talk about some chamber things happening that you definitely want to be a part of. As always, we appreciate Walker County Federal Credit Union. They are your full-service community credit union. Make sure you go by, set up your accounts today, and make sure that you take care of this community as Walker County Federal Credit Union does so well. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville on a Monday.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Huntsville Executive Office Suites. Elevate your business image with prestigious move-in ready suites ranging from 150 to 3,000 square feet. Enjoy conference and training rooms, furnished and unfurnished options, custom build-outs, phone service, and a welcoming lobby. Coffee bar and dining area included for tenants. Benefit from 24/7 secure access and flexible lease terms. Located on Lake Road. Move-in begins in January. Contact Raven Property Management at 936-225-4378.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 $100,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover tomorrow's promise Montessori schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Deneen with Guardian Defense, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
All right, Dan. Welcome back. Rocking and rolling here on this magnificent Monday.
The last one of February 2025.
Oh, yeah, it is. All right, Toy, real quick. I'm just throwing stuff at you.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can catch it.
It's Friday. It's Friday. No, it's not. It's Monday. It's the last Monday of the. How did February go for you? Was it fast? Did it seem slow?
Oh, February. The first few months of the year for us at the credit union specifically are pretty chaotic. This year was a little extra because we had our federal exam and our independent audit at the same time.
Oh, no.
And then we're also prepping for our annual meeting. And it's just, the beginning of our end of our fiscal year, beginning of the new fiscal year. Like the first quarter of every year is pretty chaotic for us. But
and then the next quarter is pretty chaotic, and then the next quarter, right?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. So, February. Where was it? When was it? Did it happen?
Yeah, I don't understand. My mom was telling me this the other day because I was talking to my mom, and I said, I just don't understand why, as you get older, why time goes so fast. I mean, it literally does. You turn around, and before you know it, you're like, where did that year go? Where did that decade go? Where did this go? Where did that go? And if we could invent a way to slow down time, I think we'd all either be multi-billionaires or we'd have everybody not liking us.
I don't know. I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I see some people that are very old, aged, and I'm talking about like in their 90s, close to 100, and I'm like, I think I'm going to be mad if I live that long. I mean, can you imagine? I just cannot even imagine.
It's weird you brought this up because these are the random things.
I mean, I don't want to die tomorrow, but, I don't know that I want to live 100 years.
Well, it's funny because you're going to wonder, like, what? On my way to work, I'm usually listening to music and just kind of clearing my mind. I've got like the Billy Graham channels on sometimes, so that's cool. I like listening to his old sermons. But this morning, I was just asking Google questions while I was driving, and I said, and I was sitting here saying like, okay, Google, what's this? What's that? And this was my drive-in this
your
morning.
Entertainment.
It was my entertainment this morning. I was learning. I was educating myself, and I asked Google. I said, what's the oldest or what's the longest living mammal close to a human's age? It's an elephant. An elephant.
Yeah, they do.
An elephant is the closest living. They can live sometimes close to 50 years. Think about that. On average, it's about 47 years. Then I started thinking about gorillas and monkeys and all these other mammals, and so I started going down this rabbit hole. I was like, okay, Google, what's the life expectancy of a chimpanzee? And I don't know why I was thinking that. And then for some reason I said, well, what was the life expectancy of humans in 1950? These were the conversations that I had on the way this morning. And in the 50s, the average life expectancy, it boggled my mind. It was only like in the upper 60s or something like that.
Really?
Can you believe that?
That surprises me, but
And now it's like, or no, it's a 60. There was some sort of a percentage, but it was like a 10-year difference from then until now.
I'd be curious to see what the factors are in that, how that decision was, not decision. Obviously, statistically speaking, that's the decision that's made behind it, but what factors played into the length of life, why is it immunizations? Is it, treatments? Is it, but, I feel like back in the 50s, it was probably more organic than it is now, because as things develop, people try to cut costs and use things that are not as healthy or whatever to still make their return on their, investment or whatever. So it just kind of surprises me that life expectancy then is less than it is now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're exposed to so much more.
Exactly.
Yuck.
I think it's like there's a balance, right? Let's expose them to more yuck, but then also let's improve healthcare to cancel out the yuck. It's like there was a and I'm not making light of this at all, but there was a TV show, and it was like these huge sisters. They were going through obviously some medical challenges. I don't know if you ever saw this or not. And these girls were like, we're talking like 500 plus pounds. I think maybe even close to 1,000 pounds apiece. These poor girls, just health issues out the wazoo, obviously. But I won't forget, there was a funny, and they were kind of laughing about it. They went to the doctor, and the doctor, she was talking to him, and they were telling him like how much sugar they ate a day and all that. And they said, she's like, well, you shouldn't eat like a whole bag of candy a day. And she goes, well, Mama told us if we drink these diet sodies, and she said sodies. She goes, the diet sodies cancel out the sugar. And she goes, honey, you're misinformed. It's not working. So, if you want to go eat a whole, I like those orange slice candies. Do you know what I'm talking about?
My grandmother used to eat those.
Yeah, see, my mom
I eat them too. I wouldn't buy them now, but I ate them then.
Oh man, they're so good. So I'd eat those, but it's like, think about eating a whole bag of those but then drinking a couple of Diet Dr. Peppers and say, well, them sodies are going to cancel out those slices.
That's kind of what I do now. I do. I drink those Pepsi Zeros so I can eat all the junk.
My sister gets on to me. She's like, bro, you need to lose some weight. And she's right, because, man, they took some pictures yesterday during this service we had, and I was going through them on my phone. I was like, oh, my goodness, man.
So men are self-conscious of their appearance, too?
I am now, because those pictures, it was horrible. I looked angry in every one of them. And what it is, it's thanks to McDonald's. I should stay away from McDonald's. I talk about my eating of McDonald's on the show. I need to stay away from it. But they came out, the Quarter Pounder, man, they came out. McDonald's, you better pay me for this. This is a great endorsement. They came out with this new Quarter Pounder, man, and they started putting barbecue sauce on it and bacon. This thing is legit. It's legitimately good.
That's probably not even made of real beef, by the way.
Yeah, my sister's always like, that ain't real cow. It's compressed cow.
It's the dirt of the.
It's the dirt of the bird. There's nothing in it. Yeah, there's nothing organic. It's dirt.
There's nothing organic. It's dirt.
What are y'all eating over there? Well, we got them new dirt patties. We had to get rid of the soil patties. We got the new dirt patties, and they're pretty tasty. But, yeah, anyways.
So your relationship with Google took us to McDonald's.
Somehow, yeah, from the life expectancy to all that. Well, hey, friends, again, thanks for being here with us this morning. A lot of you are joining us, and appreciate everybody for chiming in. Phyllis Dillard is here this morning. Good morning to you. Hey, Quentin Glaze, our number one engager. You know, I see these people on here every morning, and I've never seen them in person.
Maybe you should invite them as a guest.
Yeah, Quentin, you need to come on this show every morning. Quentin is always commenting, and anything that we post. Quentin, we're going to have you on the show sometime. Brian Smith, a good buddy of mine, he's all the way up in Fargo. He joins the show every morning. Brian, whenever you come to Huntsville, man, you decide that you want to get away from that cold and move here, we'll have an account waiting for you at Walker County Federal, all right,
yeah,
man?
just don't come right now. It's cold.
Yeah, he's laughing. He's like, it's not cold. They're like 30 below right now, probably.
You know what's funny is we went through those couple of days of 20 degrees, and then when it got up to like 35 or 40, I was like, oh, it feels better out here.
Carolyn Gibson, the grandmother of Huntsville, joining us. Good morning, Miss Carolyn. How about Jamie Saucier over at Saucier Woodworks? Also, Christine Mitchell saying good morning, thinking of the song Manic Monday. Remember, is it
Yeah, and I've got
a Manic Monday?
I'm not going to sing, but yes, that's what went on in my head.
I was trying to get you to sing, Toy. I asked you earlier, there's karaoke at Rodeo now, and
Yeah.
I thought you were going to make an appearance.
No, I would watch and go eat a plate of enchiladas, but I'm definitely not karaoke.
That's another subject, and this could be a long discussion, but I'm going to keep it brief. If you are good at singing, please don't show up at karaoke.
Make everybody else look bad.
Yes, it's okay, if you're that good, then go try out for The Voice, or go try out for America's Got Talent, or go try out for, what's the other one, American Idol?
Yep, that's it.
Don't show up, people, at your local Mexican food establishment and make everybody feel like garbage because you're so good at singing. Try out for the show, please.
Go to the other Mexican food restaurant. Just
Man,
don't come to rodeo.
I used to do karaoke. I could sing Hank Williams Jr. I'd sing a little Merle Haggard. Sometimes I'd throw in a little George Jones. I liked all those old songs,
Yep.
Then I would mix it. I would never sing his music now, but I'd throw in a little R. Kelly back in the day.
Oh, come on
I
now.
remix to ignition. That was a good song back in the day. Notorious B.I.G. I'd throw that. I'd mix it all up, all over the place. And then I thought I was like fair, but I knew I wasn't great. And then some guy would show up and just knocking everybody, yay! And you just ruined it for everybody who thought that they had even a little morsel of talent. And then this bigwig, this is what I do. I'm a professional karaoke singer. Don't show up. Stay at home. Anyways,
Causing Rob some distress over here.
I'm starting to get angry about this. Jennifer Augustinetti joining us this morning. Good morning to you. Hey, my sister's commenting in, too. My sister's who's here in studio, she's now commenting in. She's back in Georgetown already. So thanks for watching this morning, sis. Hey, I wanted to switch gears. I know we're kind of bouncing around and talking this morning, but Toy, some great things going on locally. One thing I wanted to highlight, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who braved the elements yesterday or Saturday and drove up here to First Baptist. We had a senior citizen donation drive. This is our second annual Share the Love. We started that with HLI Class 42. We wanted to continue that project, and so we took it under the umbrella of Hello Huntsville. We were going to have that drive-through donation at Brookshire Brothers. Well, I got up Saturday at like 5 a.m., and I said, no, there ain't no way I'm setting up tents. And you know why? Because there was ice on my truck. And I said, no, I'm not going to go out there and set up tents and sit under here. Everyone's getting pneumonia and the flu right now. And I said, I don't want to risk getting sick. And I started thinking, and quickly I remembered, we have a nice warm little lobby here at the church. Conveniently, there's a covered drive-through area right on the side of the church. So we moved the event here. It ended up still being very successful. We put a sign up at Brookshire Brothers that said, hey, due to the rain and the cold, the sign literally said, due to the cold rain, we've moved. But we had it here. I want to say thank you to everybody.
It's a valid excuse.
It was. I did not want to play around with it. And it was from 8 to 3. But we still had, probably close to $2,000 worth of supplies that was dropped off here.
That's awesome.
We are continuing that, though, through March the 2nd. So if you did not get a chance to bring by items on Saturday in person, there are donation boxes around town. Our friends at Walker County Federal have one of those boxes. You can drop off items there. You can also bring any items here to First Baptist Church Monday through Thursday from 9 to 3. There's also a box at First Presbyterian Church as well. We will pick those boxes up after March the 2nd, and then that first week coming up here very quickly, we will deliver all those items to senior citizens at Parkview Place Apartments and also the senior villages of Huntsville.
And if you come by the credit union on Fridays and drop your stuff off, you can have some cookies.
I'm glad y'all are keeping that rolling.
Miss Paula's doing a great job of that.
Credit union cookies continuing
Yes.
on. Is that taking off? Or people coming in eating
People
the
come in and eat them.
All right. Well,
Some Fridays are better than others when it comes to people taking them, but we've managed to keep the staff out of them because we bake them in the morning and everybody. by the end of the middle of the day, they're good. They don't need them now, but yeah, come on a Friday, drop your fun stuff off, and we'll give you a cookie.
Are you slapping their hands like, do y'all have a fly swatter? Get out of them cookies.
Nope, we just let them eat whatever they want.
I would say if y'all did have a I don't know, like some sort of a rule that you can't, the only person that really should be allowed to would be Ruthie. I'm sorry, I just have a heart
Can I
for
please tell you? So at our annual meeting last Thursday,
which I miss, and I'm sorry.
that's all right. You have to swing by and grab some goodies. I have blankets.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Walker County Federal Credit Union blankets?
Yes.
All right, I like that. That's cool.
Like for football games and stuff like that. You know? Okay, so get this. I've been at the credit union 30 years, and Robert has been there for a little less than I have. I can't remember how many years. There's been several. Anyway, so we recognized 3 of the staff members that have been there 5 years. I've been there 30 years, and then we recognized Ruthie for her 20-year anniversary. No one got an applause like Ruthie did. I'm like, hey, the rest of us are here. Hi. I mean, there's a hooping and hollering for Ruthie, and everybody else gets a
little golf tap.
Yeah.
Oh, great job.
It's like, okay.
Well, Toy, I'm sorry, but there's just something about Ruth. I'm gonna write an AI song called "There's Just Something About That Ruthie," and that's gonna be the song. And I'm sorry, but there's just something about Ruthie.
She is absolutely amazing. I mean, obviously, I've worked with her for the last 20 years, and I have a very.
Did you hire her?
I did not. Mr. Oliver, the previous CEO, met her. He used to go to, I think it was Eckerd's at the time, but now CVS. He would go to CVS and get candy. He was a candy fanatic, so he'd go buy bags of candy, and she worked there. And he just developed a relationship with her and invited her to join our team.
Wow.
And she came and hasn't left yet, and she's been an amazing asset. And I mean, she's retired 2 or 3 times.
She did try to leave, but y'all kept asking her to come back. It's like that kid song, "The cat came back the very next day. We thought he was a goner."
We can't quite explain it, but you know what? I say it's called "She's Back" by popular demand.
Yeah.
So
I give her a hard time, and I asked her the other day. I said, "Ruthie, when are you coming on the show?" And she says, "I ain't coming on that show." Like she's like, "I'm busy." she was joking, but she was like, "I'm not coming on that show."
She doesn't. You know, you would think that she would just be thrilled about it, but she's a very humble person.
Yeah,
she doesn't mind staying in her spot and doing what she's used to doing. So anyway, she's amazing.
It's cool you mentioned, how that job happened for her. When I've talked a lot this morning about my previous IT business, and that's how I found a guy named Travis that worked for me for almost 8 years. My brother was with me a long time, and he was awesome. Travis was great too, and Travis, he was working at Best Buy, and we would always order parts from Best Buy, computer parts, and he was always so nice. And one day I just straight up, here's the thing, if you got something to say, just be bold and ask people. Don't beat around the bush. And I know when you start talking about money, that can be a real sensitive thing, but with him, he was a young guy, he was working at Best Buy. I said, "Dude, just tell, how much do you make working here?" And he straight up told me, and I was like, "No, man." I said, "I'll pay you double if you come work for me." And he's like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, you're getting ripped off here, man. You're too good of a guy. You take care of people." I was like, "How long you been here?" Like 2 years ago, 3. I was like, "And you're only getting paid that?" I was like, "Dude, drop this and come work for me." I told him that. The next week he was working for me. Awesome. Stayed there for almost 8 years and was one of the best employees that we had. And a great young man. And he's went on, and now I think he's working for Texas DPS. And so, if you see something, and I'm not telling you to go rob employees from places.
Well, I can tell you that when I'm out and about, and actually I think there's a lot of us that do that, but we're out and about. I've been through a couple of drive-throughs in town, and I'm like, I've twice now have not telling who I'm trying to steal their people, but anyways, this one lady is just good at her job and people friendly, and that's one of the biggest things for us is having somebody that we need somebody that knows how to count money, and we need people to be friendly. So those 2 things. Anyways, this lady is just amazing. Anyways, and I'm like, "Hey, if you're ever looking for a job, we're hiring always." And she's like, "Oh, thank you." Of course, I told her where I was at or whatever. Anyways, and she kind of just smiled. She's like, "Thank you." Anyway, so now when she sees me when I come back through or whatever, occasionally she'll just smile at me because obviously she
Yeah, she
remembered. But I guess she likes where she's at, and that's awesome too. So that shows her commitment, her loyalty.
It's good, but it's like, back in the day, Steve Jobs lured the CEO of Pepsi to Apple. I don't know if you ever remember this story or not. Well, that same guy ended up kicking him off the board. Steve Jobs got ejected from Apple for a while. That's when the company went downhill, and then they brought him back, and it skyrocketed. But Steve Jobs had got the Pepsi CEO to come to be their CEO at Apple. And you know what he told him? He said something about, do you want to continue making sugar water the rest of your life, or do you want to change the world? And the guy was like, whoa. And it changed. And so he's like, I'm going to work for this guy. And he did, and then he ended up firing him from it. Like, he told Steve Jobs to take a hike, but there's nothing wrong with that, So my challenge to you next time you see this person, be like, and you gotta say it graciously because they love where they're working, but you can say, well, do you want to sling fast food the rest of your life, or do you want to sling some cash? There you go.
Maybe I should let you do our recruiting.
No, I'm just kidding. And it's funny you mentioned folks. Please be nice to people that work at fast food places. They're working hard. They're trying to earn a living. And I'm going to tell you something, Huntsville. I've never been in a community where I've never experienced this anywhere else. We have some of the nicest people working at these fast food places.
Do you know, where was I at? Oh, at Roadhouse. The people that own that, or partner owners or whatever, manage it. My assumption is they're not from here.
They feel like they're from here now. They're all in.
They have definitely bought in, but they don't have the ownership as far as they're not born and raised here.
Yeah.
They have the ownership now because they're part of the community. But I was so impressed with him the other day. He was bragging about how well behaved our youth that work for them and their work ethics and stuff like that. And of course, I probably snag on to those types of comments or hang on to those because you hear so much negativity all the time, and especially with our young people, because unfortunately the younger generation don't have the same work ethics and things like that we all have had in the past several decades. But anyway, he was bragging about that, and I don't know if I just was impressed with the compliment and that we actually had somebody say something positive for a change. He didn't have really a dog in the fight. He didn't have to make that comment or pay that compliment, and I thought it was very kind of them. They are such nice people.
That's Anthony Antonides and his wife.
Yes,
they're great
they are
people.
Such nice people.
It's got the coolest name too. Like, how cool is that name? That's like a radio name.
I'm not going to try to pronounce it.
You're listening live here this morning at 6 a.m. It's Anthony Antonides. See, it's got that cool ring to it, Yeah. Anthony, if you're watching, man, we'd like to steal you and bring you to this show. So,
bring us some rolls when you come.
Yeah, but no, you're right, and there's so many, and our young people especially. But be kind to those drive-through workers. I go to McDonald's a lot, and those ladies and there's even a young man named David, and I know a little bit about David. He had a baby, and he's a daddy now, and I always ask about his baby, and he's one of those guys that, like, David one day was looking for another job. He would be perfect for you guys. He's awesome, just an outgoing guy. But love on those people because they are so nice here in this community. I've never had one experience where anybody at a drive-through restaurant has been rude to me.
Well, you tell David to come apply at the credit union.
I will next time I see him, yeah. Now, my friends at McDee's I'm sorry, but he's a good dude. But if he wants to come, he can come. Toy, one other event that's going on, I know we were talking about events and things, and something that you're hold very near and dear, being involved with the Chambers, Diva Night, coming up before we know it. Let us know about it.
Diva Night is out of the fairgrounds. Excuse me. Out of the fairgrounds, April 25th. And tickets are $50 a person, or you can buy 5 and get the 6th one free. This year, let me look at the exact name so I can say
It's like a theme this year?
Yes, it's called Explore. It's Whimsical Wonderland.
Okay.
So it's kind of in tune with Alice in Wonderland. You're going to have your, the costume would be the Queen of Hearts, your Mad Hatter, the little characters from that, kind of a tea party kind of setting. So they're starting to promote and push the the vision a little bit with the chamber. You can buy tickets online at the on the chamber website. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can always reach out to Cassidy Gutierrez, who is now over the events at the chamber. So if you ladies are interested in hanging out and doing a girls' night with vendors that are geared mostly towards women and enjoying some hors d'oeuvres and beverages, come see us April 25th at the fairgrounds.
There it is. Yeah, I'm looking here. The website is up, and we'll share that link here on Hello Huntsville. But yeah, what is it? Wonderland?
It's whimsical. Oh, Wonderland Whimsy.
Wonderland Whimsy.
Yes.
Year.
Get your little tea hats. Come to the tea party.
Get your tea hats.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a great. That was great, Toy. We're gonna have to clip that segment. Get your tea hats out, okay? All right. More information online. Again, go to HuntsvilleWalkerChamber.com. Hey, I wanted to make sure we mentioned too. Our streaming is always brought to you by our friends at Huntsville Memorial Hospital. A bond coming up, very important bond, and we want to encourage you to get more information about that bond. You can go online. A new website has been launched for all the information about the bond at yournewhospital.com. I know there's been a lot of concern over how much. The biggest concern people always want, well, how much is it going to cost me?
Right. And people really, really, really need to go in and look at the facts and base their decision on the information that they've been that has been presented before they assume that it's a negative thing.
Yeah, go on there, read the information. It's online at yournewhospital.com. It may surprise you, honestly. Some people are like, well, this is going to cost an arm and a leg. Well, there's some opportunities where it's really not going to make that big of a dent on our current taxes. But I always say this. A community has to have two things, in my opinion, to really thrive. You've got to have great education, and you've got to have great health care. I saw that firsthand happen in my community in Georgetown with the school system there, and also with their new hospital bond that got passed many years ago. That hospital now is bought out by St. David's. It's now one of the top 5 hospitals in the nation. Who would have thought? Little old town I grew up in, one of the top 5%. I said 5, I meant 5%. Top 5% of hospitals in the nation. And friends, that community is thriving because of the health care and the school. The school has done great things here. Dr. Shepard, they've really worked hard to do great things. They are. HISD is doing incredible work. That bond has helped out a lot. And I think the same is true here for this hospital bond.
These are revenue generating endeavors, and we need to, our community, as our community grows, unfortunately our need for things grow, so we can't stay status quo. I do encourage people to get out and go here, because they are having several in-person town hall meetings over this. And, if you agree, then obviously that's great. If you don't agree, then just make sure that your disagreement is based on true facts and understanding.
Not Huntsville good, bad, and ugly comments.
Yes.
Those are always good to.
Yes.
It's easy because there's this narrative that forms right about anything, and I'm not talking in favor or
right. Absolutely. I just think people need to know the
facts.
They
need to know the facts. Yep, and that's the best way. Go to the website. All the facts are there. They've laid out the information really great. And again, those town halls are very important. The next one's going to be March the 12th. That's a Wednesday, 6 p.m. at the Elkins Lake Clubhouse. There'll be one more, a couple more actually, March the 25th at Riverside Baptist Church, and also on April the 8th, my birthday, at the MLK Junior Community Center. So please go out and read the website first and get all the information. One thing, I won't go into details because the website talks about it. There's a lot of misinformation that's already being spread about TDCJ and their involvement and the correction, the inmates that have to get health care.
Right.
Go to the website, get the facts. They're all there. So
absolutely.
Well, Toy, great morning here. We'll see you at karaoke, right? When is that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. No. Y'all will not see me. Well, if you see me at karaoke, you'll be eating, not singing.
Yeah. And if you're good,
you're welcome.
And if you're good, don't show up. Just eat. No, show up and eat, but don't sing if you're good, okay? Please, because it ruins
Rob will kick you out.
Yeah, we'll kick you out. Delphina wants you to come and eat, but don't sing. Well, hey, a lot going on. We're going to have prizes a little bit later this week, so make sure that you stay tuned into the show. Didn't have anything today, but we do have some stuff. Kyle Kreiner was so funny one time. He goes, I said, let me see what we can put together. And he commented, he goes, well, that means you're going to go dig through the desk and find something. We do. I got a whole wall. You can see it, Toy. See all this stuff over here? We give away all this stuff. I've just got to figure out how we're going to give it away, what we're going to do this week, because we have a lot of
I need to
great
get
things.
something put together with all of our goodie stuff.
Yeah, y'all should.
Yeah.
We can do a Walker County Federal Credit Union prize pack
There you go.
giveaway. And you know what? I'll even throw in like a gift card or something to fund their account if they want to open up an account. Can I do that legally? Can I give them $25 to open an account?
If you give them cash, it's not my cash.
Okay, all right. Well, that'll wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow. Our friends from Guardian Defense here, Jason Thompson, the Thompson family. Again, prayers for Roxanne Moss. She was going to be here this morning, but she is feeling ill. And we just want to say, hey, we're praying for all of you, Huntsville. A lot of people are sick. Just had a friend of mine that was in the hospital with pneumonia and the flu. And praise God he got home, but it was also, in a roundabout way, it was a good that this happened because they discovered something going on with his heart. And if he would have never got the flu and pneumonia, they would have never known. And so, even in the moment of adversity, you can find something that's good. And in that situation, it's not good to get, that kind of a medical diagnosis, but they found something, they're going to be able to fix it, and that's a good thing. So, but we'll wrap it up. Big thank you, as always, Toy and our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union. Huge thank you to my sister who came out and hung out with us today here on the show. Always great to have all of you as well join us here. We'll be back tomorrow, 7:30. As I end every show reminding you that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Till next time, we'll see you 7:30 tomorrow. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. See you, Toy.
Bye.